Welcome back to another episode of the GODSU Wednesday Icon Talk. I am yours truly, your GODSU film director and Co-M.C, as well as engineer His Excellency Dakar Eubanks, Chaplain, and I am the CEO of Dakar Marketing Tools and the Director of Operations here at GODSU. And we're going to interview our main guest for tonight, our mogul, Man Oh Man, and that stands for Men of God Unleashing Legacy Successfully. And our guest tonight is Assistant Dean Reverend Dr. Leo Pickett, Chaplain, who's the CEO of Leo's Worship and Praise. And we have our founder, as well as Co-M.C of our Wednesday Icon Talk, Her Excellency Attorney Reverend Dr. Diane Moore-Eubanks, Chaplain, who is the chancellor and founder of GODSU and is the senior vice president of Infida, a financial network. Without any further ado, co-host, please take us away.
Absolutely. It is wonderful. It's so great being on this call with you all today. I am so excited to introduce one of my favorite people. And this is Dean Reverend Dr. Leo Pickett, ED Chaplain. He is the CEO of Leo's Worship and Praise. He's a GODSU Dean. He's a chaplaincy and honors program recipient here at GODSU and also our director of music. Dr. Pickett is an ordained elder in the Church of God. He's a retired professor of music and communications. He's also an actor, making movies, training films, documentaries, and commercials. He mentors elementary and junior high school boys and offers music therapy and health and nutrition advice to seniors throughout his nonprofit. He's a recipient of the 2014 Distinguished Alumni Award from Lincoln University of Missouri in their music therapy, where he completed his undergraduate degree. He then matriculated from Wayne State University in Detroit, Michigan, Motown, with a EDD, that is a Doctorate of Education, in 1974. He has joined the faculty of Global Obade Seminary and University some 7 years ago, where he now serves as Dean of Music and also a minister, one of our favorite ministers on the God Success Teach and Pray. He has done so many firsts in his young 80 plus years that it would be too much to mention right now. So I'm just going to jump right into it. How are you today, Dr. Leo Pickett?
Well, you know me, I'm great all the time. All the time.
I know that. I know that, and you're being featured as one of our living legends. April 17th, when we have our Living Legend series here at GODSU. And I wanted to ask you, what has been the key to your journey to success?
Well, I think the key to my success started with my grandmother. She said, "Son, I would rather wear out than rust out." And so I followed that all my life, and I've narrowed life down to two things: production and service, but service being the most important.
That's outstanding, and it's great to hear. A great man once said that service is the rent we pay to be on this earth, and if
That's
anyone is a servant leader, it's you. I remember some 20 something years ago, you and I were part of founding a church in downtown Silver Spring. I'll never forget that. And then here we are, decades later, working together and building this university, Global Obade Seminary University. So what are some of the initiatives that you're working on now, Dr. Leo, as a leader?
Well, some of it's not exactly an initiative, and then again, it is. I was recently asked to appear in the upcoming fall edition of the Marquise, Marquis, Who's Who. And
Mhm.
they wanted to know naturally what I've been doing since day one practically. And of course, with the chaplaincy program, it never stops.
Yes, it is.
Even when I'm not maybe thinking full bore about it and I'm out and about, uh, the urge to do something, which chaplains
Mhm.
have all the time, comes to me. And I
Yes.
might meet people who might be strangers before I meet them. Then after we
Mhm.
talk, we're no longer strangers. So,
Absolutely. And I wanted to take this opportunity to announce not only to the world, but to you, to let you know that December 2021, you're being considered for our United Nations NGO Goodwill Ambassadorship. And
my
so far,
goodness,
you're the only one this year. And as you know, we set this aside for those who, for 2 years, consistently, persistently, with no breaks, have been in service to GODSU in every capacity that we've asked. And so you fit that bill. And I want to let everybody know that right now you're designate His Excellency a Goodwill Ambassador, Reverend Dr. Leo Pickett. So this is the first big time announcement that you are this year you will be His Excellency Ambassador. So big congratulations because of the initiatives that you've done going into the nursing homes and singing to the patients and traveling around with GODSU. You've even traveled down to Florida to be
that's
with
right.
GODSU. Yes, even in between operations or even in between various health challenges, you've come out strong and you've always been with GODSU. You've always been, sending new students. You are a professor here at GODSU. You're constantly teaching. You're a minister here. You're constantly giving back. And because of that, we want to let you know that you're the first person who has been identified as yet for 2021 as a UN Goodwill Ambassador to our New Future Foundation, Inc., the Jamaica chapter. Congratulations.
Well, I'm certainly humbled and honored. Those two H's go together. So humbled and honored that you would even
Oh,
think of me that way. And so I know some of my associates don't quite understand why they can't maybe reach me for just chit chat. They keep hearing me talk about God's you, and they get kind of jealous. But I said, no, I'm about the Lord's work, even more so. And I
Mhm.
don't have time for chit chat. I
Mm,
have time for cherishing and nourishing souls.
yes, yes,
So, right.
that's what you do. And at this juncture, before we ask any more questions, we want you to sing to us so those can truly understand why you're God's used minister of music. So take it away.
Okay. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. It is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born to eternal life.
My goodness. Wow. You just took my thoughts away. You took my voice away. Just incredible. There's another one that I would love for you to sing. Can you sing for us the anthem? I would love for you to sing the anthem. You did a great job.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And Dr. Lee, that was just amazing. Dr. Leo, can you tell our audience how many years young that you are, please?
Well, since I suffer from dyslexia, I'm only 58 years old.
Oh, so for our audience, Reverend Dr. Leo, soon to be His Excellency Goodwill Ambassador Dr. Leo, is 85 years old. And some of us can't even remember our children's names. And I can just ask him for any song and he can just go ahead and sing it. He is truly, truly blessed. And we are blessed to have him here with us. We are so pleased to have him with us. I want to ask you, Dr. Leo, what has been your experience here at GODSU and how has it affected your definite purpose for your life?
Well, my experience at GODSU has been very consistent. We can go to church and we can do this and we can do that, but GODSU is a daily kind of thoughtful, benevolent ministry. And so, because of my association with GODSU, I'm more focused on doing the Lord's will. As I say, it's constant. You go to church and maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're not in church, you're not as focused. But thanks be to God, GODSU keeps his focus every day. And I really appreciate that. I'm never out of focus since I've joined GODSU.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tell us about your work with ministry here at GODSU in terms of the God Success Teach and Pray. Kind of tell us how you've gotten involved in that and how that has actually touched some people's lives.
Well, GODSU Teach and Pray has really helped my memory, if I can say it like that, I can, because of GODSU and the focus, I can go even further back, but I like to start at the time that I was about to go to Lincoln University in Missouri to get my undergrad degree. I received a tuition and fees scholarship, and all I had to do to keep that scholarship for all 4 years, excuse me, was to maintain a B plus average, which I felt was a piece of cake. And so GODSU, when I started telling about GODSU and going back in my life, I can remember conversations I had with classmates as a freshman back in fall of 1955. There was what was called Freshman Orientation Week, and we got to school 1 week before the regular students did. And so we had 3 days of freshman orientation, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So when the first day, she says, glad to see all 400 of you all here. Welcome. And that I want you to start thinking about your officers, for your class officers. And so she started naming off the officers and said, you should get around and let people know what you're interested in and why you want to be it. And of course, there was only one office as far as I was concerned. And I think you know what that office was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
President.
That's right. There was no vice, none of that. It was just president. So here I am, brand new, with 400 other students. And so on Wednesday, she says, we're going to hold the election. And you will have 90 seconds to present yourself, what office you're interested in, why you want to fulfill that office. So needless to say, when the votes were tallied on that Wednesday, I received 80% of the votes for president.
Oh my goodness.
So so she says, okay, congratulations, but you've got to do something that 9 other freshman classes before you have not done. And I said, what's that? She says, well, the freshman class is responsible for the annual spring dance in May. And she says, there have been 9 classes ahead of your class, and none of them have fulfilled that obligation. I said, oh, nothing to it. So,
Nothing to it.
So when we went home, got ready to go home for the Christmas holidays, I had everything in place. The arrangements, the place, the decorations, committees, all that. All students had to do was just show up on that particular day in May. I had it already done. So I accepted, challenges like that. And I formed a quartet, and we sang on campus and for the JCs. And we especially enjoyed going on Sunday afternoons after church, 2 Sundays a month, to the men and women's prisons. That was the state prison for men and women in the state of Missouri. And we'd go there, our little quartet, and we sing for the women's prison and for the men's prison.
So you were doing chaplaincy even back then without even it being called a title. So many things that you do, Dr. Leo, it doesn't have a title on it. You just go and you just get to work. There are times when you even send funds to the school and we're like, what's this for? And you said, just because I want to help. And it's not that you have a lot, but whatever you have, you're willing to share. And you also can cut a rug. I remember we were dancing on at a GODSU yacht. We always go on the yachts and for graduation, and we go on the yacht cruises, and man, you took the floor and you went all the way down. I had to let somebody help me up, but you just kept going, and I love it. I love it so much, and we absolutely love you. And I want to ask you, Dr. Leo, can you go more in depth about what you do now as an entrepreneur, so that folks know how they can book you, because you're very good on Zoom, so you can sing for churches, for birthday parties, and various things. They can just book you on Zoom. So tell us what you do, and then tell us how they can reach you.
Okay. I enjoy ministering at different churches. My home church doesn't see me that much because I'm off in ministry. And I not only sing for churches, but I was invited into two poetry ministries and were connected with a different church. And these ministries have about 25 poets, mostly female, because the poet laureate for Prince George's County is the head of that group. And there are about 25, and out of the 25, there are 21 women in the group. And there is there are four of us males. And I'm not a poet, but I provide the singing for the poetry group. And there's a lady similar to me. She's traveled all over Europe singing and classically trained. So she and I joined forces at some of these poetry readings, gatherings. And this group is very active because they observe not only Black History Month, they observe Black women's or women in general month, and every month of the year they have some kind of theme, and they feature. So also occasionally I have to sing at a civic event, and and I mostly sing like the God Bless America, something like that, to open the program on those occasions. But if people want to reach me, my email is very simple. It's my name, Leo Pickett, the number 62 at gmail.com. And my cell is 301 806 2287. And I'm in the process of updating my my website, Leo's Praise and Worship. So I will, as soon as that's completed, I will certainly get that information to you also.
Excellent. And as you know, we have excellent help for our alum in terms of technology, in terms of Zoom, in terms of their websites at Dakar Marketing Tools and Sudan apps and technologies. So please take advantage of that. We definitely would love to help you to make sure you have all of that. So your email, phone number, and of course, your upcoming website will be publicized. So at this time, I want to say it has been an honor, a privilege, Designate Ambassador, Goodwill Ambassador, His Excellency, Reverend Dr. Leo Pickett, to have you on the call, because you are our mogul, our man of God, okay? Unleashing legacy successfully, man, oh man. And
Yes.
so we're so glad to have you. At this, I'm going to hand you over to my esteemed Co-M.C, His Excellency Dakar. Take it away.
So now let's get started with our outstanding workers. First, we have, helping with administrative work, our Vice Chancellor, His Excellency, Dr. Moore-Eubanks Chaplain, who's the CEO of Take Action Now, It, Inc., DBA TANIT. We have helping with administrative work as well, GODSU Administrative Assistant, Her Excellency Dr. Arlene Span Chaplain, who's the founder of Arlene Sweats. We have also helping with administrative work for GODSU, Dr. Kelly Perry Chaplain, who's the CEO of Kelly Perry Enterprises. We have Director Her Excellency Cairo Dr. Eubanks, UNCSR CLC CEC Chaplain, who's the CEO of Cairo Speaks and Cairo Writes. Also is Co-M.C of GODSU Living Legend Seminar. That's April 17th, 2021. And you can register at tinyurl.com/KLBCN96. And she helped with paralegal work. We have the following helping with social media marketing: Desmond Dr. Michael Johnson Chaplain and co-founder of Redefine Unlimited, health and fitness coach. We have Desmond Dr. Kalila Johnson, who's the CEO of Redefine Unlimited and is Co-M.C of GODSU Living Legend Seminar, which starts April 17th, 2021. And you can register at tinyurl.com, KLBCN96. We have helping with NFFI JA STEM, Dr. Daniel Orte, who's GODSU Board Advisor and is the CEO of Professional Management Enterprises, Inc. We have helping the following two helping with administrative work for NFFI: Queen Mother, Her Excellency Dr. Delois Blakely Chaplain, who's the president of New Future Foundation, Inc., as well as Natalie Moore, who's a member of NFFI-JA. We have helping with professorship our Reverend Dr. Robert A. Spicer, Senior Chaplain, who's the CEO of Restorative Strategies LLC. We have GODSU Apps, Miss Black Florida Talented Teen, the Miss Black USA title holder for the Sunshine State, Sudan A.L. Eubanks, who's the CEO of Sudan Dolls, Games, and Apps. We have helping with public relations for NFFI, attorney Andrea Moore, Esquire, Jamaica, GODSU Jamaican spokesperson for NFFI Jamaica. And the remainder help with public relations for GODSU, Dean Imam Dr. Salahuddin Muhammad Chaplain, who's GODSU Dean of Muslim Studies and is the founder of Muhammad's Marriage and Relationship Services, Assistant Dean Dr. Edna Harving Battle Chaplain, who's the CEO of Gen J Consulting. And we have our mogul for tonight, our man, oh man, Assistant Dean Reverend Dr. Leo Pickett Chaplain, who's the CEO of Leo's Worship and Praise.
Leo Pickett in a nutshell. I'm a retired professor um, in music and communications, and been retired since 1995. However, I have been quite busy singing in nursing homes and other places like that, and prisons and so forth. But about 5 or 6 years ago, I dug back into college and college called GODSU, and I took the course uh, and in chaplaincy, and so I'm an official chaplain. I've tell people for years I've worked as a chaplain without portfolio. Now I had the portfolio, and by hooking up with GODSU. You may contact me. My email is very simple. It's my name, LeoPickett, the number 62 at gmail.com. The cell is 301 806 2287. And return it back to my distinguished host, His Excellency Dakar Eubanks.
Awesome. Thank you. And we also have the remainder helping with public relations for GODSU, Bishop Dr. Reginald Benjamin Chaplain, who's the pastor, CEO, and bishop of Lighthouse Christian Fellowship Center, Assistant Dean Reverend Dr. Laleithia Davis Chaplain, who's the CEO and founder of Dior to Live in Overflow, and is a God Success Teacher Pray co-host. We have Chief Dr. Kelechi O. Eke Chaplain, who is a senior federal officer of the Department of Justice, Dean Reverend Dr. Anne-Marie Wilkinson Chaplain, who's the CEO of Shop Fashion Focus and is a God Success Teach and Pray co-host. And we have our GODSU Chancellor, the Right Honorable Her Excellency Reverend Dr. Diane Moore-Eubanks, JD Chaplain. Please take us away.
Okay. Yes, how wonderful it has been being with our top 20 volunteers, especially one of my favorite designate His Excellency Ambassador Reverend Dr. Leo Pickett, who was, of course, earlier our mogul, man oh man. So about me, well, I am just your humble servant here at GODSU, serving as your chancellor, visionary founder, and just wanting to be a servant leader, both at our interfaith university as well as at our Christian seminary, Global Bible Institute. It's such an honor and privilege to serve you all. I also serve in many capacities as a senior vice president within Vida Financial Network, where we teach you how to plan for your retirement. We teach you about Index Universal Life products that while you're living, if you become ill, they'll pay out. And you know that, especially in these pandemic times, that type of account would certainly be helpful. We also teach you how to use yourself as well as your children, grandchildren, cousins, etc., wherein you can open accounts that serve as a bank. You can borrow from yourself. I'm also the president of our United Nations NGO here in Jamaica, New Future Foundation Inc., the Jamaica chapter. I'm actually in Jamaica where we're giving to a high school and an orphanage tablets so children can do their schoolwork, hand sanitizers to the children as well as to the staff so they can stay safe, as well as calculators so they can get their work done. And both institutions, we gave checks to, we gave a small check. So that's what we're doing here with our UN NGO. And the global president of our New Future Foundation, Inc., is, of course, Queen Mother Dr. Dolores Blakely. How long has she been in the UN? His Excellency, how long has she been in the UN?
That was 52 years.
My goodness. 52 years of her service. So we're so happy to serve her here in Jamaica, and we give homage to her. There's also a GoFundMe that's going around that we ask you to support as the banks are trying to take her property. So we want to make sure that for those of you who've received that, please respond directly to her to send her whatever you want to send her. I'm also on the executive board of the Minor Football League. The Minor Football League is the only developmental professional football league that feeds into the NFL. I'm also proud to have been chosen to be the first female owner to have acquired a professional football franchise through the help, of course, of the president, founder, visionary of the MFL, none other than Dr. Richard D. Miles Sr. So we're so pleased that he was so kind to do that. So I really want to let you guys know that here at GODSU, our motto is one race human in one space earth with one embrace, which is love. And so we love you, we embrace you, and we thank you for listening to another GODSU Wednesday Icon Talk with our mogul, man oh man. So His Excellency Dakar, looking as spiffy as anything, please take us away.
And as our chancellor said, I helped with administrative work today. I am Director, His Excellency Dakar Eubanks Chaplain. I'm the CEO of Dakar Marketing Tools, as well as Director of Operations at GODSU. And at my company, Dakar Marketing Tools, we're an international graphic and printing company, providing you with all of your marketing needs to help you and your company grow. Our popular products are branded rings. We have branded pins as well. And we also have branded golf shirts and branded jackets. You see our Chancellor and Dr. Leo's wearing theirs. And also we have African American History Bibles that you see here, where not only features our students, so you see our Chancellor there, we have all our students' bios, pictures, and names. And you also have African Americans that you'll recognize that are, we have people in civil rights, in politics, in entertainment, music. So it has their bio, so you can learn about religious leaders, scientists, inventors, astronauts, in medicine, and so on, literature and education. And we have all the books of the Bible, and we have all the scripture in large print, so it's easy to follow along. In addition, we provide merchandise that's crucial to your business's success, such as our GODSU magazine that you see here, that we're reading our MOGULS bio from, our President, His Excellency, Dr. Leo Pickett. You see we have many pages. We have 342 pages in our latest edition here. And we got so many requests that we're going to be doing a reprint as well. So if you're interested in a copy, please let us know. And we're also doing banners, flyers, digital business cards, and printed business cards. And with our innovative tools, you can turn your brick and mortar into an e-commerce platform. During this time of constant Zoom meetings and webinars, we at Dakar Marketing Tools want to make sure you're prepared with our Zoom for Profits class, which our first class begins tonight. That's March 17th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also we're going to go to March 24th and March 30th, 2021 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you don't want to miss it. You can still sign up. And some of our offered courses will be how to make money doing Zoom, Zoom Essentials, Zoom Basics, and turning your brick and mortar into an e-commerce platform. And I want to extend a special appreciation to the GODSU leaders that we mentioned who have volunteered many hours. We especially thank those who have provided actual names, emails, and phone numbers of referrals. GODSU is grateful for the opportunity to add workers of God to our database, as well as register for our educational programs. So with that being said, I thank you for watching another episode of our Wednesday Icon Talk. And I want to remind you to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and stick around. We have some messages you're going to love, but also make sure you're ready to learn tonight at 8 p.m. We're going to be starting our first class of our Zoom for Profits. So thank you. I'll see you there.
Technology, social media, the web, Zoom. Businesses, families, friends, lots of people are Zooming. But are they Zooming for profit? Well, you can. Zoom for Profit class sign up going on now. Global Ovid Day Seminary and University
GODSU
will be teaching Zoom for Profit. 3 classes, March 17th, 24th, and 31st.
From 8 p.m. Eastern Time till 9 p.m.
Zoom for Profit skills taught will be Zoom Basics, Zoom Essentials, turning your brick and mortar into an e-commerce platform, how to chat in a Zoom meeting, knowledge on recording a Zoom meeting, how to make money during Zoom, and so much more. Zoom for Profit, 3 days, March 17th, March 24th, March 31st, 2021. Zoom for Profit's class prices are as follows. Option 1, $99 per class. Option 2, all 3 classes only $250.
Payment methods you could use now to sign up.
To pay by Cash App or Apple Pay, 754-260-5157. For PayPal payments, paypal.me/DAKARE. For Zelle payments, 121-000-248.
Sign up today for Zoom